Oh man!
Hey,
as you can see, we're at the beach. We're over on the beach here.
Not only on the screen, but mentally too. I don't think we're here. At least I'm not.
We should put you guys in grass skirts next
That would be awesome. I don't know if I have the legs for it. Don may have the legs for it. I may not. I don't know. We'll see. So
Yeah,
Don,
I don't know about that one, so.
I know that you're going to ask them how everybody's doing. I know that's coming. So
you know what? The way this the first few days of this week, man, I had a really extremely busy weekend.
You did
something every day, and it just continued on Monday, Tuesday, and today, Wednesday. So it's been like 6 days of straight stuff.
Okay,
staying really busy. So, I think I need them to ask me how I'm doing.
I think they probably do.
How am I doing? I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know. D7 checking in. People are already checking in. So why don't we start this the appropriate way? Ready? I'm Scott.
I'm Don.
And we're talking real estate. It's going to be a crazy show. I mean, we're going to be coming at you from all angles today. Okay. Don and I, we talked about it before the show. It's going to be like a grab bag of interesting stuff. The biggest part of today's show is going to be the legend, Mike McLaughlin. So that's going to be the biggest part of today's show. So look at Don, they're asking you, how are you doing?
I don't know how I'm doing. Really, I don't. Maybe at the end of the show, I'll know more. So, but thank you for asking.
Watching from my girlfriend's house in South Rockwood. See, so people are watching from all over the state of Michigan for you, Don. They're caring about your feelings. They're caring about your feelings.
My feelings.
So it's going to be hard for me with this beach, this beachfront behind us to really concentrate on what we're doing today. But I will tell you this, guys, we took a note from last show. We're going to ask you more questions today because we're curious realtors. We'd love to hear what you had to say. We're trying to sneak Mel on the cam. We're going to try to do that throughout the show. So Don may pick the screen up and turn it at her at one point in time. We'll see. We'll see. So that's how it's going.
I screwed that up.
I'd say it's something. You got to be sneaky, Don. Sneaky. So start off with the easy stuff. Tell us where you're logging in from, where you're checking in from. At D7 so far. It was nice meeting you last week. See, Don?
Thank you.
So I will tell you guys this. My son's grad party is Saturday, and we had a ton of people. But Don shows up, right? Because we invited him, because I'm a nice guy, But people were like, hey, isn't that Don? It stopped me and go, hey, isn't that Don? I go, yes, it's Don. Like, you should have seen him. His head was this big. It was ridiculous.
It was like one of those bobbleheads I couldn't get out the door.
Lexington, Michigan. I think I know who that is up in Lexington there. So yeah, good stuff. But yeah, our good
friends, Wilkowitz.
Good friends of Wilkowitz's fans of the show. Mr. Wilkowitz and Don talked for hours.
Yeah,
like his wife couldn't even get a meal or a beverage or anything. It was crazy.
Neither my wife nor his wife. He couldn't. He was supposed to.
He's on a downturn. See, exactly, Steve Kreitz. What the heck? The guy. He's on a downslide.
Hi, Steve. Hi, Steve.
Yeah, see, thanks for taking the family photo. See, you're like a celebrity now. Everybody knows Don now.
Thank you. You're welcome.
There you go. See, Mike McLaughlin. That's Baz Phillips, his beautiful Irish Hills. She's in the house. All right, so let's go to the one, the only, Mr. Mishta, Mike McLaughlin. Talk to us, McLaughlin.
Don, how are you?
Mike, thank you. I'm good. Thank you, Mike. Thank you.
You sound like a psychiatrist. You should be laying across the table. Don, tell us about your feelings in your childhood.
Tell me about your feelings.
That was pretty good. Michael, what's going on in the world of Academy Mortgage and mortgages in general, sir?
Well, I'm definitely earning my title as Mr. Mishta, as it seems like just about probably 2/3 of all my applicants these days are Mishta, which is great. The program's there. Let's use it.
Mike, let me ask you this question about Mishta. Is there a threshold where they got so many applicants in 2021 where they would cut it loose?
Never seen it happen before. This is state funded. There's not a pool of money. It's just there. Plus, they get the money back, so it's not like they're risk. It's not like the grant money where they're giving it away.
Yeah.
When those come around, those go really quick. When the grants come around, that goes really quick. Haven't had any in a couple of years, but we'll definitely be sure to do it first on Scott and Don Talking Real Estate.
Damn right you will be, buddy.
Grant money comes
I'll be
out.
going to all those other shows that are in the state of Michigan. So I got to tell you guys this real quick. So every once in a while, I look to see what kind of competition we have for real estate shows. And I got something in an email 2 days ago showing Don. The closest one I found was there's one in Maryland that sent me something, what podcast, right? There's not that many. I mean, and what happens is people do it for a little bit and they realize it's hard work and they let it go. Yeah. So it's definitely it's an interesting thing. But back to mortgages, Michael. Give us some sunshine on these cool, chilly days of summer.
Well, the refinances have picked up the pace, and that's due to the that little nudge we had last week that we spoke about the interest rate, which we've come pretty close to recouping all of that back, kind of like I thought we would. But I think a lot of people became nervous that maybe we might have some type of an end to the low rates on the horizon. I don't really see it, but some people out there, that's why they say that the uptick in refinances is happening, because people think that they may have waited too long and they want to make sure they get in before they actually go up significantly instead of just this up and down. But
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
There's a new program coming out. I think it's called Refi Now, and it's specifically for people who are staying in their home for a refinance that maybe couldn't get the program, couldn't refinance otherwise. So, and I'll be prepared to talk about that later. It doesn't really affect our purchase market, but it is a program that we do offer, and it actually just rolled out about 2 weeks ago, a new federal program called Refi Now, and we'll talk about that in the future.
Well, Michael, I think let me cut you off just for a second. So I think that the reason people were kind of flocking to you for refis is every talking head that you hear or every headline is this is the highest or the lowest ever in the history of the world. Like today, they said that right now is the lowest new builds home sales this past month in a year, right? And then before, the interest rates are the lowest they've ever been, or the high. It's like that's what you hear. You hear that, and all you do is pound that into people's heads a bunch of times, and all of a sudden they go, they freak out.
And there's still, I more than anything, I see people getting a lot of mail marketing where they're being showed teaser rates as to where interest rates are, and they act the way that they do the postcards. They make it look like they're from Academy Mortgage. So watch out for those kind of if you do own your home and you have a mortgage, watch out for those kind of mailers where they're tempting you with a rate that doesn't exist or that might cost you thousands and thousands of dollars to achieve. But so nothing new in the market. A lot of marketing out there, and I'm getting a lot of that these days too, where people are like, "Hey, I got something from your company. It says we can refinance down to this and do that." I just say take a closer look. I think you'll see it says regarding Academy Mortgage. It doesn't say it's actually from Academy Mortgage. That's how they get away with mailing these marketing to all the different mortgage servicers and actually misrepresenting themselves to be that lender in a way.
So you're saying there's trickery out there, Michael? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, to everyone's surprise, right? There's
a bunch of trickery.
Mike, who are they sending that to?
To people who, what they do is they buy these lists from these people that scour the public record. I'm sure you guys have heard of that.
Yeah.
So they buy these lists of people who have. What they'll do is they'll target a period of time where rates were perhaps where they might be able to do a refinance, and then they'll throw out some ridiculous low rate to get them on the phone, and then maybe they'll start taking cash out or consolidating other debt, and then you called about this rate that doesn't exist, and then you end up refinancing for something that you hadn't intended to do.
Well, hell, Michael, I get stuff from Quicken Loans all the time that says Rocket Mortgage wants to do this, that, and the other. They don't tell you got to pay points to get to that level.
Right. Or they put it in such fine print that old geezers like you and me aren't going to be able to read it without like a magnifying glass.
Hey, so let me put this one on point here real quick. So do you think in the fall, do you think rates will be significantly different or no?
I don't know. I think that that they've already cooked it in. They've already determined that they're going to keep the rates low for this year and next year. Now, could they be a little bit higher? Yeah, I don't think it's going to be significant though. But that being said, I mean, I only know so much compared to, so I read it on the internet just like anyone else and pay attention to who the sources are to get my my knowledge going forward. But for me, if you're in the market to refinance or purchase, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Act now. Act while you can. Act while certainty is there. Because
I feel like that should be this should be the summer of don't look the gift horse in the mouth. Like say to a seller, they got sellers coming. Some sellers coming to me going, "Well, I want this, this, and this." You know what I mean? Or, well, I get it's a seller's market, but at some point you got to go. This is where it's at. Same thing with buyers. If you're at this rate, how much lower do you need it to get? I mean, stuff out of some crappy deal and get to something a little better. Yeah.
Yeah, and even a point, on a $100,000 loan, what does a point in interest rate really mean? Let's see.
This is math right in front of your face, ladies and gentlemen. Mike McLaughlin showing you behind the curtain.
The
The
sausage
hamster?
being
That's right. The sausage being cooked.
$50 a month is all it is. So on a $100,000 house, the difference between 3% and 4%, is only $50 a month. So
Really?
that's on $100,000. We make a lot of big deal about it because it's the one thing that can drive consumers. But really, I mean, if you start getting 2% higher, well then sure. But if we keep within that 1% range of movement, then the affordability still stays pretty reasonable.
So you're talking $300,000 home, $150?
Yeah, for a whole point in interest rate. Yeah.
Oh, that's so again.
Not a whole
He's
lot.
always dropping dimes.
Yeah.
Mike McLaughlin, he just, you don't even know what's coming. He wasn't expecting to talk about that today, Don, but he did, right? So
That's
in
right.
your head, folks, when you hear interest rates up and down, all that craziness, every $100,000 that goes up a point or down a point is $50.
Not a whole lot.
No, it's not a lot. That's like dinner for you, just by
It's just-
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But
but
I go to those fancy dinners where you hold his finger up like this.
so going back to that, even when you're buying a house, paying a little extra, it's not going to be make your payment that much larger if you pay higher to get it. So
Yeah.
So all that stuff.
What's that rule of thumb, Michael? What is it? So every $5,000 is $25?
That's I use $5 $4 or $5 per thousand. So 20,000, $80 to $100, in sales price.
Because that's what other people figure out. Oh my God, they're asking me for $3,000 more dollars. Jesus, that doesn't mean that's nothing.
$14, yeah.
Yeah, $14 a month to get a house you love.
Yeah.
All right, Michael. Well, listen, you are always the bomb diggity bomb. Thank you for letting us behind the green curtain of Academy Mortgage. All right, and
Thank you
also,
for having me, gents.
ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, he did set the record at the classic video game in my basement. Has Mike McLaughlin's name on it. Just so if you come over, you try to beat it.
I was down there too.
Yeah, so if you come down, what game was it?
Let's see, Donkey Kong, Galaga, Frogger.
Love Frogger.
Frogger,
all
too.
those
God dang
games
it.
all those games were on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like
I didn't
400
know
of
that.
them.
There's a lot of games.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it would have been nice to even play more, like Space Invaders. And,
Buddy, anytime you want to come over and play,
I
let
don't
me
know if
know.
I had Asteroids, but yeah, a lot of great games.
Yeah, very cool. So it brought us back to the old arcade days of Red Baron Arcade over there on
Yeah, right.
Telegraph, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Or
All right,
7-Eleven
brother.
there.
Listen, thanks for talking to us today. We'll see you next week, my friend.
All right, guys, be well.
Get a little wave for you.
See you, Mike.
See you, bud.
See you guys.
Man, Mike McLaughlin, I'm telling you what, he's like the unsung hero sometimes.
Yeah.
He breaks it down in a way that just people go, okay, this
Brings
is cool.
it.
Yeah, so pop some captions for me there, Miss Melissa. And we're still trying to get Melissa on cam. So if you have a couple of ways for us to get her on cam, for the fourth one, this is the theme room. Curious Realtor, you got it. So Don and I were thinking, one moment. So Don and I posted this today about themed rooms. And we want your feedback, your opinion, your thoughts. So in the chat, tell us, if you could have a themed room, what would it be of? Okay, the choices that we put today were like Harry Potter, Star Wars. Somebody said a cabin room, log cabin room. I saw, what else did I see? I'm trying to think of other ones. An old rock poster, like an old rock posters room. If you could have a themed room, what would you do? What would you have a themed room of? Put it in the chat, please.
So I've seen Harley Davidson garages and rooms and basements. Harley Davidson's a big one around here.
Yeah, Harley's okay, yeah.
Star Wars, of course.
Yeah.
You see those. What else? What other ones have we?
So like I've seen like Disney character kind of ones.
Yeah.
So in the chat, guys, tell us what kind of, if you could have a themed room, let's say it was just for short term, just so you could have it for a week or something like it, for a month. What would you have theme room would you have? That's one question. We'll give you a minute to think about that one. What kind of themed room would you have? So throw that in the chat for you. That's one question. Another one we got for you, Miss Leventis, if you go to captions, please. I have a CocaCola room. Man,
yeah.
Brother brings me more Coke memorabilia. That's awesome.
Yeah.
A Coke room. It
Yeah.
sounds kind of funny when you say it wrong.
And there's so many different type of bottles. If you look at a history of that, I've been down to Atlanta and yeah, there's a lot of different bottles.
Yeah, there definitely is. There definitely is. But if you just say a Coke, you got to say a Coca-Cola room. You can't say a Coke room because that sounds like bad news. You know what I mean? What else? What else would you do? What else? If you had a themed room, what would you have? If you had a themed room, what would you have? Like I said, I like little kid Disney characters, right? I keep trying to figure out a way to do a movie room, like a room with all different kind of old. I saw one. The guy did paintings of movies, had like self-painted movies. It was pretty cool.
Himself?
Yeah.
He painted
Like murals?
Yeah, it was pretty. It wasn't bad. That was not a bad one.
Not a sports themed. Could be a baseball. Could be all four, five, six sports, whatever it is.
Yeah.
NASCAR. I've seen NASCAR.
NASCAR. That's not bad.
So,
that's not gonna be a bad one. Okay. So another curious realtor question from us, Miss Love Vendis, if you would please. Thank you, ma'am. Let's go with. Where did I put it at? Hang on. Let's see. What's one amenity? The one on the bottom there. Yeah. The Red Wings room. I like that. A Coke tray, Coke dish. Yeah, Coke. Yeah. Good.
Lions.
So another one is if there was no money was no option, Don. If you could have one thing in your house, one amenity, if money was no option, what would it be?
A dry sauna.
Really?
Yeah.
A dry sauna.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes.
Now, what about you?
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah. What about you? What would you have? If you have one thing in your house, if money was no option, what would you have?
I like the dry sauna thing too.
Yeah. I was thinking elevator.
Nah.
I want to get an elevator because my basement is a cool place, and all the older folks like my mom have a hard time getting up and down the elevator.
Yeah,
now, people threw in the chair, like the little chair thing.
No,
that takes
just a lift, maybe.
I'm telling you, if I can figure out a way, I'm getting an elevator.
There's got to be a way.
There has to be a way. Yeah.
Well, we have one. We had one at the club I used to work at,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like you would walk into the front, and then there was a small little closet that they turned into a lift.
Ed Panky, my man. He is not letting you go on that.
Ed's throwing me out on the
sauna.
Throw me under the sauna.
Sauna.
Yeah, he's finished. So that's how they pronounce it.
Really?
It's a serious. Yeah.
Is that where it comes from?
Yeah.
Does it really?
Yeah. So Ed is a serious sauna taker.
Is it?
And he built a sauna. It's awesome.
That's
beautiful.
awesome.
When I went out to Colorado, you go skiing. At the end of the day, you go in a sauna and not only warm up, but clean out, get clean, and yeah, it's really nice.
Very cool.
Cool.
Yeah. So
thanks, Ed. Thanks,
Ed Panky, my man, Hanky Panky. I love that guy. So Steve Kreutz says you have a corner elevator you can get. That'd be cool. I'm telling you, I might. So at some point, I'm going to come to my house and go, let's go to the elevator on this one.
I put a pool in my basement.
Would you really?
Yeah, I put.
You guys saw the one, the girls' deal house.
If I
had
had
pool,
money,
right?
I'd put in a heated pool downstairs.
So I knew a guy in Dearborn Hills that had a pool in his basement with it had like instant waves. The waves that came at you. That's cool.
Was it a swimming lap pool?
Yeah, but no, it wasn't a lap pool. No, it was small. It was small. But
so it was stationary.
Yeah.
So you could swim in that spot,
Like
and it's
the hot tub?
pushing the waves, pushing you, and it depending on how fast they push the waves,
Current,
it's how fast. Yeah, the current, whatever.
So guys, tell us, Steve Kreutz, Hanky Panky, Zach, whatever's on, guys. What would you have? What kind of amenity would you have? What kind of one? You have one thing in your house. And if amenity is a word that scares you, if you had one cool thing in your house, the money was no object, what would you have?
Ed Panky, would you have a motorcycle room? I would think you'd have
A room with a motorcycle. You just ride a motorcycle
He's a
around?
motorcycle guy. Ed Panky went for a ride today.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Where'd you go to Grand Junction, Ed?
I'm telling you. So, Mel, what about you? You'd have a pool?
Mm-hmm.
You'd have a sauna?
I would have a dry sauna. That's the
Dry
thing at
sauna?
the top. That's the first thing that comes off my mind.
Really?
So, yeah.
I'm telling
It
you, I'm
really
going
is.
elevator. I'm going to elevator. I think elevator.
So do you remember at the old the Hyatt, they had the one on the outside was a bubble,
Mm-hmm.
and you'd get in and you'd be able to look around.
I don't
The
remember
glass
that. A
elevator.
trophy room. There you go.
So
A trophy room.
You need one of those. You need one of those.
Oh, the outside
So,
ones?
Yeah, be on the outside of your
That'd be
house.
awesome. Yes.
Then you have to dig a hole and you go down
Yes.
the hole.
Now
and
you're
then you come
speaking
back
my
up.
language. Now you're speaking my language.
There you go.
Two.
All right, you're welcome. You're welcome.
It's like a
The coolest thing about the Hyatt, which they discontinued very quickly, was the what do you call it? What the hell do they call it?
Shuttle?
Yeah, the shuttle from back and forth. So Denise
Oh,
Lawrence,
the
see what she
monorail?
wants, Don?
The
A
monorail?
chef. That's my girl.
I want a cleaning lady.
Cleaning lady?
I'll make a little bedroom downstairs for her.
Like an everyday cleaning lady? There you go. Nice, nice. So
What kind
Denise
of room
Lawrence.
is that? What kind of room is
Doesn't
that?
matter. It's an
Yeah.
amenity. It's an amenity,
an
my
amenity?
friend. Yeah,
It's a
absolutely.
necessity.
Biggest TV they ever made.
Necessity,
Steve
yeah.
Christ, I want you before next show to come up with the biggest size TV they ever made. That's what I want you to come with the next show. All right? Come with the next show with the biggest size TV they ever make. So
TV,
let's do this.
not a
Well, wait,
screen
I-
that
yeah.
you just throw on
I'm
a
gonna
wall.
ask. Ed Panky, what kind of trophy? What do you got? What kind of room do you need for trophies? What trophies do you have?
We'd love to have someone hand car wash my car in my garage. There's Sam Abdullah. There's Sam. Would it be somebody in bikinis too, Sam? Is that what we're saying? It's a kid show. Remember, there's kid-friendly show, buddy. All right?
Girls on
Um,
trampolines.
Yeah, girls on trampolines, right? So, I know we don't have a ton of time, okay? We don't have a ton of
Coming
time.
Show.
from you.
But I'm thinking I want to talk about something that let me start with a backstory. So I did a key exchange. Okay, key exchange after the occupancy, the seller moved out and buyer moved in. Right, the buyer wanted the keys to move in. So I met the buyer there, and the buyer's agent couldn't make it, but I met him there. So and they went around, and the house was cleaned up really nicely. And they went around and there was one little line on the wall, right, like this big, right? And the guy's taking pictures, and they want a whole bunch of money for it out of an escrow, damage escrow, right? So I guess my question to you is, a handyman. When do you need a handyman for something? What can a handyman take care of that a contractor would not need to be involved in?
Right.
What do you
A
think?
small scratch on the wall.
Right, small scratch in the wall. So, guys, that's what we're trying. I need your help with this. What kind of things could a handyman do that a contractor would not need to be involved in?
So a handyman can install a new light fixture.
Yeah.
But to wire an outlet or to wire a electrical box, you need an electrician.
Right.
You need permits pulled.
Right.
So contractor versus handyman, right there.
For electrical.
Yeah, for
Okay.
electrical.
So what
Just
about
one
what
thing.
about for plumbing stuff?
Plumbing? You can fix a leak on a faucet or a toilet that might be running on. But to replumb a house with new copper plumbing or PEX, you're going to need a licensed plumber.
Or
Okay.
what you had. Did you have something done at your house?
Yeah, it was just
Something else.
Yeah, something else.
But see, now Steve Kreitz says never do it myself, and he does do a lot of it himself. So handyman, there's Bass.
So is he a handyman or is he a contractor?
He's a handyman, I think.
Right.
Yeah. So,
So what happens
I would
later
think so.
when you go to sell your house and then they're looking at things that were done by you and not a handyman or a contractor?
so then they have a licensed contractor come look at it, whatever it is, if it's whatever specific field. Huh? Wow, Steve Ramsky uses two.
That's from Ed Pank.
Wow, Ed Pink is killing me
I
today,
heard about
boy.
that too.
But spackle, right? How about Bass Phillips says clean the gutters?
Yeah, the
Right.
gutters need to be clean. Yeah, for sure. That's a really good one. That is a really good one to have.
So I have a client
for handyman.
Who
Yeah.
I think his uncle and aunt have a handyman business. They have they have 5 or 6 trucks and they're busy all the time.
Yeah, I bet.
You
I
have to give me
bet.
their number.
Yeah.
Right. So I will. But things like city inspection, which you're going to talk about in a second.
Mhm.
A lot of the stuff on city inspection, the handyman can take care of.
Yes,
You know what
absolutely.
I mean?
Yes.
But my point was, I looked at stuff and I'm going, the guy gave me a list with all this, all these expenses up to a big amount of money. And I'm like, a handyman could do almost 90% of this crap for a little bit of money.
a few $100, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I just started shaking my head. That's where it came from. So Don, tell us about the city inspection that you you had the other day.
I'm about to list the home this week or beginning of next week, and the seller text me the copy of the city inspection report. They don't understand it, and they're not sure. There's nothing on there. And after I got a chance to look at it, the city didn't cite a single thing in this house. It's up to code, and this is one of the first, not one of the first, but one of the very, very few times in my career that has a city inspector gone out there and did not cite one single thing.
So you've had that happen before?
Once or twice, yes.
I'd
Really?
frame that.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Frame it
I'd
with my
frame it.
office.
Yeah.
They had backflow preventers and not one trip hazard.
Even the sellers were saying, this has got to be a first. If this is true, this has got to be a first. We got to be one of the, so yeah. So there's zero. So I had to print it out and make sure. And I even asked you just to make sure that I'm not missing something here. So, because
No
it's
fine
so,
print?
yeah, is there any fine print? So that it's just so unusual.
So a quick thing for Brenda said, it says, I looked at a house with a basement bathroom that wasn't in the listing. So there's a mysterious bathroom in the listing. That's pretty funny.
Well, you know what? Who's the fault of that? Who's
Listing agent?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So listing agent didn't
So-
know what the hell they were doing, B. That's
So
what it
make
was.
sure you hire a listing agent that knows what's going
Where
on.
the basement bathroom is. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but
it's-
you can't list it if it's not up to code or something,
Yeah, you can.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's just like a half bath,
Oh, half
they
bath. Yeah,
won't
you
count
can.
it.
They will. They'll count it. It's in the basement, though. It's less valuable. Half bath, the basement's worth about $1,000 or $2,000. Yeah.
The appraiser will. That's who.
Yeah,
that's
appraiser
who
will figure
really
that out.
matters.
So they're asking what city?
City, Dearborn, Michigan.
No kidding.
Dearborn.
Michigan. So
Dearborn.
I will tell you this too. I was at a city inspection for Woodhaven yesterday. Okay, Don. First of all, they had to have 4 different freaking people come. Right.
Isn't something?
I'm like, 4 people? Come on.
Yeah.
Every other city that I know, except for a couple, has 1, and you have 4.
Yeah.
Why?
Right. Because they have an electrical guy, a building guy, a plumbing guy, and then there was some other.
The water. I think the water. Is
Right.
there water?
Yeah, but it's plumbing. That's plumbing, right?
No, but I think I think Woodhaven has a specific water inspector.
I guess here's my thing with it. This is what bothers me about that stuff. It's your house. I get code and everything like that, but it's somebody telling you what you have to fix in your own house.
Before you sell it somewhere
Right.
else.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird to you? No,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're right. Dearborn and usually find something wrong. So
Well,
yeah.
that's the thing. It was
They're changing.
it was a do-it-yourself.
Take their
She's like,
money.
it was a do-it-yourself bathroom. I'd love to see if you can find a picture of that. I'd love to see what that looks like. A do-it-yourself bathroom. It'd be like a little bucket. Here, spill it. Comes back, fill it back up, spill it. But yeah, I mean, I always tell people leave something for them to write down, right? But not this one, buddy. Not that one.
Frame
The
it.
seller said he was leaving something that I can't remember what it was, something minor that I go, wow, the city, he may miss it. He missed it.
Yeah.
So it was a minor thing. So
Well, that's a
whatever it
minor
is,
thing.
not a
you know
big
what I mean?
deal. But the house is in pretty good condition though, too. So
Yeah. Hey Don, when you sold our house, the inspector said, Ed, I would have to stay here for hours to try and find something wrong. Hey, buddy, it's over 20 years old. Wow.
so Ed's a builder.
Okay.
My brother-in-law is a builder. Well, he's retired now, and the man builds the nicest homes ever. He just quality, pride in his work, pride in his job. Would try to hire good employees.
Subs.
Yeah, and then he went to the subs. His house, there was not a crack in the drywall. If there was, he fixed it with that after that 1 year period. But it was Ed's really. If there's somebody I wanted
meticulous
to build
guy.
a house, he'd be the guy I wanted to build my house.
So in response to what Brenda was saying, the never permitted, is it one of you when they go, well, they never pulled a permit for this thing. Well, that bathroom's been there for this, or this thing's been there. Like I had a family member in East Dearborn that they never pulled a permit for the water heater, right? And it's like 20 years later, they try to come back after for the water. I'm like, come on.
That happens every day in every city. The water heater, not a permit for that, not permit putting in a half bathroom or something like that. It happens every single day.
But again, Don, this is where this is the hill I'm going to die on. Is it's your own house.
I totally agree with you.
Like,
I mean,
how
some
come
cities-
you get to come in and tell me my own house what I got to do?
It's
My
more
city-
money for the city.
My city doesn't do city inspections.
Yeah, part of
I think-
it's not, yeah.
So, and it's fine. It's fine. So
If somebody doesn't
I
want to buy it,
totally
then they're
get
not going to buy it.
Right. They have a private inspection and that protects them. Hey, so going back to Ed's statement there, the president of Michigan Tech University bought his house.
Really?
And when I was out there in Colorado, we were talking, he said that he calls him up. He calls up Ed every now and then. And asks him maybe something about the house. What about this? Or just lets him know he still loves the house.
Really?
Yeah. it's
So he
really
came down
interesting.
from Michigan Tech down here?
No, he moved up to Michigan Tech.
That's where he lives?
Yeah.
Where he lives?
Ed used to live at Michigan. Near
He was a
Michigan
Youper.
Tech.
He was a
He was
Youper?
a Youper.
Wow, man, a
Yeah.
Youper. Oh, yeah.
Him and my sister-in-law moved out to Colorado. So,
Very nice.
The
Very
Uber
cool.
is considered how far up north?
It's up north. UP.
Just
north
Youper,
of the
right?
bridge.
north of
North of the bridge.
North of the
which bridge?
Mackinac.
Mackinac.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, Don.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You know that, right?
Well, I was just wondering, like,
Man.
how far up do you go before you?
Right now, so we get Melissa on cam. Right now, when she's
So-
distracted.
So the people in the Upper Peninsula call people down below the trolls.
Oh,
down
really?
south.
Oh,
I've
below
never
the
heard that
bridge?
before in my life.
I didn't hear
Ed-
that. I
Ed
ain't not
Panky.
no.
Hanky
Ed-
Panky,
what do
you
you-
try to
what-
call me a troll, buddy. I'll be
Call
flying
the
out to
people below
Colorado.
The people below the bridge, Ed. So, up north is the UP, is what a lot of people think from the UP. That's really up north.
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
But
listen.
we're all Michiganders.
Yes, we are. We're all
Yeah.
one big happy family.
Well, until they split off the lakes to Superior State.
Just superior.
State Superior, whatever.
So we threw about 6 billion things at you. Crazy city inspections, trolls,
There it is.
Youpers,
Brenda knows.
all kinds of stuff today, guys. We definitely wanted to make sure it was interactive. Like I said, last show, tons and tons of interactions. I think we've been talking about this during the week. Mel and Don and I. Next week, we'd love to have an audience, an in-house audience. So if you'd like to be on, I'm not a troll, Panky. Hanky Panky, don't mess with me. If you would like to be in-house in next week's show, drop us an email or a Facebook message or something like that. Mel will make sure there's fresh beverages and food for everybody. So
What?
I'm just kidding. You ready to sign off?
what
or
are we
what?
gonna have? What are we gonna have? Like
Live
your
audience.
City? Oh, live audience.
A live audience. I want to have a live audience.
All right.
5 to 10 people in the audience because now you don't have to wear masks. And now 5 to 10 people. We'd love the audience next week. So it'd be very
Right.
cool.
If you want to be here, yeah, let us know.
Hey, let us know. Ready? I'm Scott,
Um,
I'm Don.
I'm Mel.
and we're talking real estate. See ya.